Hello and welcome to our 5-minute class for the fingers and the wrists. If you haven't seen me before, I'm Leah from Lakora Yoga and I help people gain flexibility and strength so that they can feel empowered not only on the mat but in their lives as well. So if you like this class, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's meet on the mat. So the first thing that I want to work on today is the bandhas. So if you're not sure on bandhas, these are energy locks in the body. Now, when we spread our fingers nice and wide, you might notice a little dip in the palm of your hand here. This is your hasta bandha. This is where energy can be drawn up. So when it's on the mat, you've got energy coming up through this center. So with that in mind, when we place our hands on the floor, spread your fingers nice and wide, thumb and little finger as far away as you can. See if you can get that kind of cup underneath your hand and then really grip the mat. Okay, now when we grip the mat, we're placing most of our weight on this part and underneath the thumb. Okay, and the fingertips. So even this part of your hand might even lift up, but we're placing weight in our fingertips and our knuckles, underneath our knuckles. Okay, so come to all fours. Spread your fingers wide, grip the mat, and just see if you can feel that little suction cup in the middle. See if you can feel that lifting up. Okay, now it's kind of like we're drawing energy up from the earth here. This is going to keep your hands nice and strong. Now from here, I want you to lean forward, keep your arms straight, and then use your fingertips to push yourself back. So you're leaning forward over your wrists, and then use your fingertips, dig into your fingertips until you can feel yourself coming back to center. Do that one more time, lean forward, dig into your fingertips, and push back. Okay, now bring your hands facing towards the outsides. Okay, so you've turned them out. Now we're going to take some slight circles here. So just rolling your body one way, and we're just going until we feel a slight stretch. If you feel any pain at all, then come out of this pose. And just take a few circles. You may see my cats wandering in and out of this video. Normally it's the ginger one. And then roll back the other way. Okay, so when we want to work on finger strength and wrist strength, there's a lot of different parts of the hand that we can focus on. So let's just finish up these little wrist circles. Now the next thing, put your hands back to center. Flip one hand onto the back. Okay, now see if you can straighten your elbow. Try and straighten your elbow and stay here. If this feels okay and it doesn't feel like too much, lean back slightly. So you're getting a nice stretch all down the outer side of your wrist here. Don't put too much pressure on it. Just try to keep that arm straight, lean back, maybe just do a few rocking forward and back very gently. And then release that. It can feel a bit achy and a bit stiff. And do the other side. So again, place the back of your hand on the mat. Try to straighten your arm. Sometimes it might not straighten, and you might find that one side is completely different. So for me, I could do it fine on the other side. I've got a weak wrist on this side. I must have done something when I was younger. But try to straighten your arm again, and then again, you're going to come back until you feel a slight stretch. For me, I feel one right away, so I'm not going to move back. Listen to your body. Always listen to your body, especially with your wrists. You're still spreading your fingers wide, and then slowly bring it back around. It can feel a little bit funny. Okay, so come in onto your knees or into a seated position. This next one, I'm not going to take credit for. This is from a yoga teacher called Natanya Stambouli, and she is amazing. And we're going to bring our hands up, and we're going to flick the fingers open. So we're not flicking the wrists, we're flicking the fingers nice and strong. It's like if you have, you're trying to flick somebody, you know, like flick something off of your hands. So just keep flicking your fingers and keep going. Do it with force. Open your fingers nice and wide, close them again. Okay, and keep going with this. So for anybody who doesn't know Natanya, she is a yoga teacher who focuses on arm balances. So obviously when you're focusing on arm balances, the first thing to do is warm up the hands and the wrists. So this is a move from her, which I absolutely love. So keep going with this, keep flicking, and you might notice that it's already starting to kind of go up the arms. So this is a good indication that, you know, you don't just, your finger extensors run all the way up to your elbow. So although you might have weak fingers or feel like you have weak forearms, it could be due to the fingers and the wrists. Okay, everything is linked up. So keep flicking, try and flick with all your might. It's going to feel absolutely awful, but keep going, and then rest your hands on your knees and just feel the tingles, feel the heat that's just built up in your fingers here. And then maybe give them a little wriggle. And then make a fist and just start circling the wrist. But we're not just doing little circles, we're trying to make the biggest circles that we can with the wrists. So it's like you're trying to get your knuckles all the way to your forearms. Okay, so really roll them around. You might hear a few cracks, I don't know if you can hear mine. And circle back the other way. So these exercises, as I said, are really good for arm balances because you need to warm up the wrists. But they're good for other things as well. Mobile hairdressers, using your hands all the time. If you're playing piano, playing any instruments, you know, it's good for anything like that. Okay, and then we're going to bring the hands up in front of us, palms facing out. And then cross your right arm over your left and clasp your hands. And then tuck that shape up in between your chest. Forearms come together, and then you're going to try to bring your hands out as far as you can. Just feel that stretch on the outer edges of the wrists. So you're pulling it out as far as you can. Try to keep your back nice and long. Nice deep breaths here. And reverse it out, bring it back out in front, unhook the hands, left hand on top, clasp the hands again, and bring it up and back through, and straighten it out as much as you can. Now again, you might find that one side is completely different to the other, completely normal. Straighten it out as much as you can. And releasing that, bring it back out. And just shake your hands off for a second. Shake your hands, maybe roll them out again. And the last thing that I like to do is to bring the back of the hands together. Try to keep your forearms parallel to the floor. And then you're going to turn them in towards your body. And as they come around, the wrists meet. And as they come back out, the backs of the hands come together. Okay, I'll just focus on this for a moment. So every time your back of your hands are together, you're getting that nice stretch down the back of the wrist again. And then reverse the circle, so come out and then come in. And come back to center. Roll your wrists, flick them. Flick your fingers, shake your wrists, and that's us done for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you do feel like you have really weak wrists and you really felt that, especially up the forearms, you can give yourself a little massage. That's a good indication of if you really need to work on a certain side. So for me, I don't feel it much on this side, but I do on the other side. So I know that this one is my weak wrist and I need to work on it a little bit more. I would try to focus on these exercises and do them every single day. But if you do feel any pain or discomfort, then stop, okay? You do not want to make it worse. If you have any wrist pain, stop until your wrists feel okay again, and then you can try again. If you like this class, I would love it if you could give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next week for our next class.